I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Steve. He's fallen on hard times and he's part of an underrepresented group, or a group whose beliefs align with mine. And what this all means is I'm willing to cut Steve a deal. Nothing crazy, just a bit below my usual rates here. Now next year, I gotta increase prices, but I know Steve's just barely hanging on, so we don't need to worry about it. After all, it's Steve, right? Next year though, we gotta increase prices again. But check it out, Steve has a friend, Toby. Similar circumstances, hard times and all that. Steve told Toby he's only paying X for his work, so I guess we're charging Toby X. Starting to sound familiar? Hey wait, Toby's got an ex-wife. Let's pull her in at that rate because she specifically said she could send us a bunch of work. Great, just great. You're now niched into mission-oriented, cheap as hell, ready for emotional manipulation clients. You have run the SS accounting firms aground on the shores of Low Bono Island. Yes, low bono work where profits go to die. And animosity towards the client increases relative to discounts given because how dare they? It's all very complex. Honestly, you wanna help until one day you turn around, Steve's making more money than you, and half your firm is made up of half-paying clients. It's what I like to call the quid pro quo low bono no-no. So let's put the old mucking boots on to wade in because we need to protect your time, protect your profits, but also help people in a meaningful way. And I think low bono actually gets in the way of being able to do just that. So let's dive in. We're first gonna talk about what it is, and by the end, dig into two actually more meaningful ways to give back. There's probably an official definition, but let's not get bogged down in that. For the purposes of this video, we're gonna say it's anything below your full rates that is greater than zero. Because why aren't people paying your rates? But I say that, and then 100 reasons flood into your mind. Steve's the Little League coach. She's the ambassador to Trader Joe's. Here's the thing about Steve. You bonded over his Millennium Falcon Lego set oh so many years ago. But of all of the people that you could help, is there anyone that needs more help than Steve does? Almost certainly. Steve's got you in the professional friend zone, and he's never gonna get a better deal anywhere else. So as far as he's concerned, you are BBFFs. Steve can afford $600 a year, but at $1,000 a year, see you later college, see you later life-saving surgery. No, the people who need your help most have $0 to pay for your help. Steve will get by. He'll flounder in a Jackson Hewitt for a couple of years and then pay a firm twice as much to fix it all. What does that mean? I'm sure there's great people at Jackson Hewitts. So anyone not paying full rates, that's paying anything, those are low bono clients, and in my experience, they only get mo bono. So let's talk about the true cost of low bono. Let's take Steve's work on year one. It was discounted 20%. Your firm runs a 35% margin, so it's not like you're losing money on Steve. We'll assume every full price project started at $1,000. Now in 2020, it got a little worse because you increased rates and margins stayed the same. So we're barely skating by on Steve. Mom, I'm shooting a video. Okay, 2021, need to increase prices again. I guess we'll increase Steve a bit. Don't want him to think he's getting a free ride. But we are losing money on Steve now. It's actually worse than this because his ex-wife, we're losing twice that amount. Or are we? Look at this, look upon my sheets. Steve and his ex-wife aren't just losing you $125. They're losing you the profit you would have made with 2 more projects worth of capacity. In this case, Steve's costing you $1,000 in profit. And you know what that missing profit is causing you to do? Raise prices. Not on Steve, on everyone else that'll happily pay their bills. Yep. Now what a lot of us are dealing with is 10 years of this. Steve's got a couple more ex-wives now. They've pulled in a few of their friends. I worked at a firm that had a niche in ministers, and it worked this way. And that was what they called it, a niche. When the only reason you built it is because you do that stuff for cheap and nobody can get it cheaper anywhere else. I am all for being mission oriented, but that ain't no niche, my friend. Turned into a real bottom line low blow for a faith-based dojo. So great, Jason. How do I actually fix it? How do I make the move without burning people, these relationships that I've built? Can you not? Right now I'm in the middle of a video. Oh shoot, payroll's due today. Payroll's due in like 5 minutes. Hang on, okay. Just 3 for Linda, right? No, okay, it's done. No, I'm sorry, I forgot again, it's fine. I'm gonna season this conversation with with just a dash of oof. We are important to our clients, but oftentimes not as important as we like to think we are. I have fired clients, I've sold clients, I've transitioned out of several firms, and there are relationships that you keep forever, but not many. And for 90% of people, you are a means to an end. Well, hang on. Can you see it? Hang on. It's a sad face. It's supposed to be a sad face. For most, you are means to an end. And to entertain the possibility of cutting those people loose is to concede that they may not actually need you. And that's oftentimes where we won't even entertain the possibility, because it well and truly cuts out the legs of our own purpose, the value that we bring to society. Is this video getting sweaty enough for you yet? But you have to know, on the other side is a more intentional plan to help the people who really need help, while the rest pay you your full rates. And so this process starts with getting energized about meaningful help. Sit your team down and say, hey, we're gonna do volunteer work for at-risk people in this group, and it's gonna be awesome. And we're gonna carve out X hours a month for it, and it's gonna be galvanizing for our team. And on the other side of this, once you're living through those more meaningful service opportunities, rather than just suburban Steve who just got owned in the divorce, it's easier to let those low bono clients go, and you're actually doing the entire profession a big favor. But first, let's talk about the old elephant in the room, family. Family. Working with family carries many of the characteristics of working with low bono clients. So let's talk about it. We're getting everything out in the open today. Nobody's safe. Let me start out with this. Mom, listen, you're great. This feels like as good a time as any just to get some stuff out there. It's not hard to run payroll. It just isn't, okay? You put the hours in and you click the button. That's all I'm doing here. And I don't wanna do it anymore. And I don't think I should have to cook on Tuesday, Thursday. You can't put a price on a mother's love, and you want to be the hero, especially to those you care about most. But much of the same low bono client logic applies to your family members. You're just the path of least resistance. They probably don't know anyone else that does this stuff, so of course they're gonna ask you first. In fact, I'd suggest in most cases, they're even more likely to be willing to go to someone else because they don't want to shortchange you. Whereas Steve, no shame in that guy's game. He's perfectly fine with it. If you run a team, you've also got the friction of making your staff do this low-paying work, and that's just bad for morale. So what I recommend is you budget a number of hours or replacement revenue for each member of your team. They can do X hours or dollars of work at no cost for friends and family. You uphold the same expectation for you as you do for each of your team members. That way there's no resentment across the team. Everybody's got the same deal. This gives you space to do mom's work or whatever the most important version of that is, but everybody's playing by the same rules. When I implemented this, and turned some family away, I just explained we're super capacity limited and had to implement a new policy to protect the staff and enable some boundaries for everyone else on our team, ownership included. Now that all sounds great in theory, but what are these family members gonna do? Where are they gonna go? This all actually enables giving back to the profession. If you started a firm from scratch, you know the fear that goes into not knowing how the bills are going to get paid, the feeling of being willing to do just about anything for just about anybody, because that's what you do when you're getting started. You don't have the luxury of being the selective snowflake we all pretend to be online, and it's what makes giving up those first clients so hard. They were with you from the beginning. But the clients you take in when you're in that state, when you'll take anything, are virtually never going to be your forever clients. I mean, of course not, right? But what you're doing by clinging on to them is keeping them from being somebody else's first client. So here's what you're gonna do. It's gonna give the low bono clients you're cutting loose the greatest chance for success with their next professional, while giving a little back to the profession as a whole. So go down the list on Google of all the little baby firms within 20 miles of you. For most of us, that's gonna be a lot. Identify those solo outfits, the ones that may even still kind of smell like a side hustle. Start taking those folks out to lunch. At worst, it's an opportunity for you to impart some wisdom on these young Padawans. At best, you could find someone who's the perfect home, not only for your current low bono clients, but for future clients who you may be tempted to take, but are kind of just outside your ideal profile. So rather than focusing on the fear of disappointing these clients, consider the fact that there are upstart professionals out there for whom those low bono clients, those would be great clients. When you were starting, you would have killed for a list of Steves. You kidding me? That Millennium Falcon Lego set's like 800 bucks. It's a great way to help someone get started and give back to the ecosystem as a whole. Find an upstart pro you love and give those clients a great home to let you do your best work. Because even though you bruised your no-no, now you are the low bono Han Solo. Those are low bono clients, and in my experience, they only get mo bono. So let's walk away. Turned into a real bottom line low blow for a faith-based dojo. Yes, I got through that low bono one without giggling. Or the low bono Han Solo.